So come onto your backs. Go ahead and give yourself a stretch. We'll start with breathing the way we always do. So I won't stay on my back. I'll sit up so that you can hear me clearly. I think Zoom does pretty well with audio when I've gone back and listened to the recordings. But as you come onto your back, I want you to take a deep breath in through your nose, let it go through an open mouth. Let's do that 1 or 2 more times. Just allow you to step fully out of your weekend so that you can step more fully into this Monday morning. Just breathing in and out through your nose. Just allowing the breath to fill up your body. With each exhale, let go of every last drop. Just a few moments here to settle in to your space, our time, your body. Using your breath to help you set aside any distractions, concerns, even your agenda. Just let it go for right now. And allowing your breath to help you reconnect with that calm center. That quiet, that grounded part of you. As we move in and out of different poses today, as we move through our practice, I want you to consider Santosha. Santosha is contentment. It's one of 5 niyamas. And the niyamas are how we relate, how we interact to ourselves. So if you're just joining us, you are on your back, just breathing, just allowing the breath to flow in and flow out. So Santosha is contentment, being okay with things as they are, whether it is our preference or not. So as we take different shapes, as we move through transitions, I want you to keep that in mind, this practice, this idea of Santosha, so that we can not only cultivate it for ourselves inside of our yoga practice, but so that we can also take it with us into the rest of our day and into the rest of our week. When you are ready to begin movement, I want you to bring the soles of your feet to the mat, about hip width apart. Arms can be wherever they're most comfortable. This will be subtle at first. Begin to rock the pelvis or to tilt the pelvis forward and back. So you might think of tilting the pelvis towards the heels of the feet and then tilting the pelvis or back from the feet. This allows you to manipulate your lumbar spine, your lower back curve. And it's just the movement of our pelvis, just that gentle rocking. We're still keeping the middle of our back, our thoracic spine pressed into the mat. Your head heavy on the floor. You are ready for a greater range of motion. Extend your arms by your side, palms down, fingertips towards the heels of your feet. And let's begin to flow in bridge pose. On your in-breath, we want to tuck the tailbone, taking away that lower back curve, peeling the spine one vertebra at a time. Hip bones reaching up towards the ceiling. Out, slowly lower the spine. Again, one vertebra at a time. And I want you to flow in and out of your bridge pose, beginning to match the movement to your breath. As you aim to articulate one vertebra at a time, we're increasing and maintaining the mobility of our spine while strengthening our glutes and our hamstrings, the muscles of our back. If you're actively pressing your palms into the floor, you're also engaging your triceps, the muscles on the backs of your arms. And for anyone that would like a little more intensity, take one leg or one foot off the mat, reaching the leg up towards the ceiling while you slowly lift and lower. You'll want to switch sides so that you continue to even yourself out. But having one leg in the air and one leg down will increase the intensity, cause your muscles to work or effort harder. We still want to roll through the spine. Just moving with your breath, keeping your attention, your awareness here in the present moment. And when you've balanced yourself out, I want you to find your way back into bridge pose, both feet pressing into the floor, hip bones reaching up. Feel free as you stay here to bring those hands together beneath your pelvis. You can roll up onto the backs of the arms. Keep that breath slowly flowing in and out through your nose as you hold your bridge pose. Hip bones reaching as high as they can. And when you are ready with an exhale, separate the hands, lower the spine slowly and with control. And when your spine reconnects with your mat, go ahead and bring the knees in for a hug and a squeeze. You can gently rock from side to side here in knees to chest. And then I want you to bring your hands to the hamstrings, the backs of your thighs. You may want to straighten the legs a little. And so actually, sometimes I hold on to the backs of my thighs, other times the calves. And we're beginning to rock forward and back. And we want to hollow out the belly, keeping the chin tucked, the spine rounded. This is a little more of a Pilates thing. Using your core, finding your balance, not coming up too far, but far enough. And the next time you're more upright, I want you to stay there and find balance on your tailbone in boat pose or Navasana. So as you find your balance, see where you want your legs. You might have toes down so that you're still a little bit supported. We want to keep our spine nice and straight. Shins parallel with the floor is a good option. If you really want a lot of intensity, having those legs straight can be a good option. See what feels best for you today. I want you to take your hands away from the toe in the water. And that'll work if shins are parallel with the mat or if the legs are straight. And if you have your toes just barely touching, then you'll lift a toe up. You're still working on your balance. You're still working on that nice straight spine. Keep the breath slow and steady. And can you find Can you practice santosha or contentment here in the heat, in the fire? At least that's how I feel about boat pose. When you've balanced yourself out, come back to where you started. Maybe both sets of toes on the mat, maybe shins parallel with the floor, maybe legs straight. Lift in the crown of your head, deep breath in, and on your exhale, release. And let's make our way, feels good. Make your way onto hands and knees. We'll set up for cow and cat flow. Hips over knees, shoulders over wrists. When you're ready with an exhale, I want you to take cat. Tucking the tailbone, rounding the back, releasing your head. When you're ready to breathe in, move into cow. Tilt the pelvis forward, release the belly, the chest, lift the chin slightly. You'll exhale and return to cat. And then you'll inhale and return to cow. As we did in bridge flow, I want you to find your own pace. Just honoring what feels appropriate as you match your movement to your breath. We want to initiate the movement from the base of our spine, the tilt of our pelvis that guides the rest of the spine. The next time you breathe out, I want you to move into child's pose. You can bring those big toes to touch, sink your hips towards the heels of the feet. Keep the arms extended, fingertips reaching towards the top edge of your mat. If the floor feels too far away from the forehead, remember you can put more space between the legs. If you feel like your face is being squished, bring those knees closer together. And let's take a quick side stretch. When you're ready with an exhale, take your torso and your arms right of center. And on another exhale, go left of center. When you've evened yourself out, return to the center of your mat and begin to make your way into downward facing dog. Tucking your toes, sitting bones reaching up towards the ceiling, pushing into the palms of your hands, more in the heels of the hands though, away from the fingers. And I want you to find movement here in your downward facing dog, just bending one knee, then the other. You can shift your weight from one side of the body to the other. Just staying curious, did you see what's available on this Monday morning? When you are ready for stillness, you can quiet the legs, heels of the feet reaching into your mat, opposite from the sitting bones, which are reaching up towards the ceiling, ears by your inner arms. When you're ready with an inhale, look towards the hands, and on your exhale, you can walk or jump the feet forward. We'll meet in forward fold. You can shake the head here in Uttanasana, just releasing the weight of your head, giving your wrists some attention, circling them in both ways. And just giving your
yourself permission to just hang here. You might find a little bit of movement as you shift your weight from one foot into the other. We won't go completely into ragdoll through a wider stance. Keep your feet hip width apart. Just here for another breath or two. When you are ready with an exhale, I want you to soften the knees, just bending the legs. And on your inhale, let's take half lift. Palms coming to the shins or the thighs. Your back is flat. Crown of the head reaching towards the front of your room. Sitting bones reaching towards the back of the room. On your exhale, release. This time on your inhale, take it to chair pose. Weight in the heels, arms extended, shoulders down away from the ears. Make sure you can wiggle your toes. You choose the intensity by how low or not you're sitting, just honoring what's available. An option to take drinking bird. Drinking bird is a balance. You can bring those arms by your side. And we're coming onto the balls of the feet, lifting the heels off the mat, and then hinging in your hips even more. Spine parallel with your mat. And maybe a heel comes down. Maybe the other heel comes down, maybe not. On an inhale, return to chair. Heels connecting with your mat. Ears by your inner arms. And when you're ready with an inhale, let's rise up. Extended mountain. And on your exhale, bring those palms together, hands to heart center. Moving into a sun salutation, inhale by arms up. On your exhale, hinge in the hips, fold forward. One pose per breath. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale to your plank. Shoulders over wrists. Maybe the knees come down, maybe they stay off. Exhale, chaturanga. This is a yogi push-up. Keep those elbows close to the ribs. Inhale to your cobra. And on your exhale, return to downward dog. Don't get too comfortable. When you're ready to breathe in, take it to half lift. Feet come to the hands. Hands move to the legs. Flatten the spine. Exhale, release. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to heart. Let's take one more and then we'll move to our standing work. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. This time you have a choice. You can inhale to cobra or up dog. If you're choosing up dog, flip the feet, knees off. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to heart. Sweep the arms up again. Swan dive to your forward fold. What I mean by that is I want you to lead with your chest bone, your sternum, your heart. Arms, head, they follow. And here, we'll take our forward fold just long enough to shake the head no, shake the head yes. Just letting gravity take as much weight as you can give it. Staying on your feet. Just fold it in half, like you're draped over a clothesline. From here, we'll take the right side of our standing work first. So I want you to slide the left foot back. We're coming into high lunge. We want to keep the feet hip width apart. All toes pointing towards the top of your mat, but you're on the ball of the back foot. I'll scoot up just a little bit. Make sure this right knee is stacked over the ankle. And I know I'm at a funny angle. I'm not really facing the camera, but my intention is to mirror you. So I want you to listen to my words because my body is doing the opposite of what I'm saying. So here we are on the right side in a high lunge. You might feel that length in your iliopsoas, this hip flexor of your left leg, shoulders down. From here, we go to extended side angle. So we drop the back heel, we bring the right elbow to the right knee. You might keep the left arm extended for more intensity. Reach it over the head. You might choose to extend that arm that was helping to support you. So it'll take you into a deeper space or expression of the pose. Being mindful of your practice in santosha, contentment. And wherever you choose to be, take care that your breath can remain slow and steady. I want you to stay engaged with your parasympathetic nervous system. From here, we go to reverse warrior. Inhale. Right arm reaches skyward. This back arm can rest on the leg, or you can wrap it around your back. Legs stay the same. Feet are still perpendicular to each other. Take care that the arches of both feet remain engaged. From here, we take triangle. Straighten the front leg. Reach with the right fingers and the ribs as far as you can, and then tilt. You can use a block, a stack of books here on the inside of the foot. I forgot my block, it's at the back of my mat. But you can also place a hand on your shin if the floor feels a little too far away. We want to look up towards the sky, just following that extended arm. Triangle is more two-dimensional, so be mindful of your spine. Sometimes I see students rounding in the back. We want to refrain from doing that and really just be in rotation. No flexion here. On your exhale, pyramid pose. So now, all toes again, pointing towards the top of your mat. Bring that back foot in a bit so that the feet are anywhere from 2 or 3 feet apart from front foot to back foot. Here we let gravity take the weight of the torso. You can use a block to lift up the floor. Let your head hang heavy. And imagine that your hips are a steering wheel. And I want you to turn that wheel slightly right. You may feel a little bit more in the hamstrings of that right leg. From pyramid, we're moving into standing splits. So I want you to shift your weight into the right leg. Keep the hips square as you lift the left leg, working towards 2 straight legs. You can keep your gaze at the shin of the supporting leg. Just keep resisting gravity, rooting down into your mat, into the earth. And when you're ready with an exhale, release your flying foot to your mat. Let's meet in downward dog. And here you have the option to hold your down dog or to take a vinyasa with me. If you're moving with me, inhale to your plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, look at the hands, and on your exhale, jump those feet forward, returning to your forward fold. I'm gonna fix my mat. Feet still hip width apart. Just taking a moment to dangle here, preparing for the second side, our left side. When you're ready with an inhale, slide the right foot back for high lunge. You're on the ball of the back foot, left knee stacked over the left ankle. When you feel like you have your foundation, bring your torso vertical. Relax the shoulders, energy extending beyond the fingertips. Focusing on a fixed point in front of you. Keeping that breath slow and steady. When you feel like you've been on this side long enough to bring balance, extended side angle is where we're headed. We're dropping the right heel, bringing the left elbow to the left knee. Keeping the right arm extended up. And you find your expression of this pose. Feet perpendicular to each other. Maybe the arm reaches over the head. Maybe the elbow comes off the supporting or the front leg. Both legs are supporting you. When you are ready with an inhale, take it to reverse warrior. The right arm resting or wrapping around the back. Left fingers reaching up. We want to keep the front leg bent, the back leg straight. If your mind starts to wander, bring it back. Stay inside the pose. Keep your awareness fixed on your breath. From here, we exhale to triangle, straightening that front leg, reaching with the left fingertips, the left ribs, and then tilting. We're going to keep our gaze following that right arm, just looking past those right fingertips. Keep that breath expansive and full. When you're ready with an exhale, let's take it to pyramid pose. Now all toes pointing towards the top of your mat. Remain feet hip width apart. So you're more on train tracks, not so much a tightrope. Let gravity take the weight of your torso, your head. And remember, your hips are like a steering wheel here. I want you to turn that wheel just a teeny bit. It's very subtle, but a little to the left. Shortcut to remaining present is to ask yourself, what's happening now? Be really aware of the heat, the sensations, the tingling, the density. And from here, we move to standing splits, shifting our weight into that front foot, keeping both legs straight, hips square. That flying leg, resisting gravity as it reaches up. Keep the hips square. I don't care how high the leg goes. It'll go higher if you open the hips, but I don't want you to open the hips here. Just feel the effort. In the right leg, you might feel tension in the supporting leg. Breathe through that. Honor your edge. Don't go too deep. I don't want you to white knuckle the pose. I want you to maintain that slow, steady breath. When you've been here long enough to bring balance to your body, let's meet in downward dog. Just finding your way to 2 palms, to 2 feet, creating your foundation, sitting bones, reaching up, option to hold your down dog or to take a vinyasa. If you're moving with me, inhale to plank, exhale, lower in chaturanga, inhale, cobra or up dog,
Exhale, downward dog.
we did it. We made it through our standing work, good work. On your inhale, look towards the hands, and on your exhale, walk or jump the feet forward. When you're ready to breathe in, let's rise all the way up. And I want us to take just a quick balance. Right leg will support us first. Warrior 3. So we're lifting the left leg. Right leg supporting us. You might choose to keep your hands at heart center. We want to keep the leg even with the spine. Energy shooting out the heel and the crown of the head. Just a breath or 2 more in your expression of Warrior 3. From here, good thing I have a chair in front of me. From here, I want us to find a variation of chair. So it's a balancing chair. So we're staying on the right leg and we're bringing the left ankle to the right knee, creating a figure 4 with those legs. And just sitting as low as you can. Whew. Focusing on a fixed point in front of you. Looking around is less effective, I promise. And inhale, rise up. Stretch it and shake it for just a moment, and then we'll get to the other side. We're having just a mini dance party. Don't be afraid to shake it. Okay, come to both feet. Standing up nice and tall when you're ready. Virabhadrasana 3, Warrior 3. Left leg supporting you. Right leg reaching back and up. When that leg can't go higher, hinge in the left hip. You can choose where you want your arms. The closer the arms are to your body, the less intensity. As you take your arms out and up, you'll have more intensity. From here, we're going to our chair. So returning, passing through vertical. We are sitting in that invisible chair. Right ankle on left knee. I like to have my hands at heart center here. Notice your breath. It's a great barometer for how the body feels here. You've been on this side long enough to bring balance. Stand up, stretch, and take a moment and wiggle, jiggle, shake. And then we'll meet back at the top of our mat so that we can scoop the air up overhead on our inhale. On your exhale, hinge in your hips, float to your forward fold. When you reach your fold, shake the head yes. I like to shake the head. It reminds me to release tension in my neck. Passing through our downward dog. So walking those feet back, making your way. Keeping your sitting bones, your ischial tuberosities reaching high into the air. And let's take the left side of our pigeon first. So when you're ready, you're extending left toes up. Here you're passing through three-legged dog. You can open the hips. When you're ready, exhale, that knee, your left knee towards the left wrist. Place the shin down.
Keep your right leg extended behind you. Remember, you can use a pillow or a block underneath this left hip. Just check in with your knee. I want you to take a moment in spinal extension. Arms can help support you. Keep your weight centered between the two legs as you look up. And when you're ready with an exhale, go ahead and fold forward. Use forearms, use a block, use fists. Whatever you need to offer support where you need it. Be mindful of whether or not you shift your weight. If you feel like you shifted more towards the left, less likely but possible, to the right, go back to center. I want your weight centered between the two legs. That'll protect you from sciatica. Here for several more breaths. And allow your breath to remain three-dimensional. So we talk about feeling it in the front body a lot. And I want you to feel it in your back and in your side body as well. Particularly on the inhale, it's a little easier for me to feel the inhale as the body expands to receive the breath. But I want you to discern what you feel, how you feel on the exhale as well, as the body softens or collapses or returns to center. In the next exhale or two, begin to slowly make your way out of this first side of pigeon, back into downward dog. We'll reset there. Just take care in the transition, go slow. Feel free to nudge around if you need to once you arrive in downward dog. And when you're ready for the second side, we're extending the right leg up towards the sky. And on your exhale, draw that right knee towards the right wrist, placing the leg on the earth. Keep that left leg extended behind you. Remember, as you set up, I want you to stay vertical for a few moments, just to indulge in that spinal extension. When you take your chin up towards the ceiling, keep your weight centered between both legs. When you're ready, fold forward if you haven't already. Just supporting, modifying, sinking in while staying centered where you can. Each exhale bringing a softening or a release of tension.
Just a few more breaths as you bring discernment to this side of your pigeon. If this side felt tighter, you want to stay a little longer. If this side felt easier to get into, you don't want to stay as long. And when you're ready on your own time, you can sink into that right side. Swing your legs around in front, and we're making our way all the way onto our back. And feel free to go slow, to roll through the spine, just engaging your core as you lower. And when your head connects with the mat, feel free to take wall-to-wall stretch, that long body stretch, arms overhead, toes towards the top edge of your mat. And then let's meet in knees to chest. So giving yourself a gentle hug. From here, extend your legs up towards the ceiling. Energy out the toes, and then I want us to take a wide straddle. So when you're ready to breathe out, let gravity take your legs away from each other. You can see what's available here. You might be holding on to the thighs. For support, you might be able to reach the calves. Maybe it's appropriate to wrap your index and middle fingers around the big toe. Just breathing through any tension you may feel in your adductors, your inner thighs. Wide straddle this way, reclining or seated, is really helpful for your lower back. It can help release some tension there. When you're ready to breathe in, bring your inner thighs together, bringing those legs back together. Soften the knees, arms out to the side, and when you're ready to breathe out, let's take supine spinal twist. Legs go to the left, and our gaze goes to the right. Just relax your shoulders. Keep in mind that the position of your legs can affect what you feel in your spine. For me, the closer my knees are towards the top of my mat or towards my torso, the deeper I feel in the twist. If I slide the knees down away from my chest, I just feel sensation not quite as intense, and it might even change where you feel in addition to what you feel. So keep that in mind as you find your most appropriate expression of your twist. The deeper you breathe here, the more benefit you'll receive from your twist. Let's take 2 more deep breaths here on this side. You can use your second exhalation to come back to center. You can give yourself a moment or two to reset, and when you're ready, we'll take the legs to the right and our gaze to the left. You can leave those eyes closed as you look towards the left arm. Just relax the toes, relax the ankles. Just feel your shoulder blades soften into the mat or towards the mat with each exhalation.
Continue to practice santosha, contentment, honoring things as they are without needing them to be any other way. As you bring discernment to this second side of your twist, consider if you need one more breath or two more breaths on this second side. If you feel like you've been there long enough to bring balance to your body, you can make your way back through center, staying on your back and finding your way to your final relaxation pose as we take our Shavasana. When you hear the sound of the bells, that'll be your cue to make your way over to the right side of your body for nurturing pose. If the only prayer you say in your entire life is thank you, that would suffice. Meister Eckhart. I'm going to encourage you to go slow, keeping your eyes closed as you slowly wake up the body. As you take a long body stretch and slowly make your way to the right side for nurturing pose. Just giving yourself a good 2, maybe 3 breaths here. As you hold space for transition out of your practice and into the rest of your day. As you hold space for possibility. And when you are ready, you can gently peel yourself away from the floor to find a comfortable seat. Just taking a moment to sit up nice and tall, feeling your sitting bones pressing into your mat. And with an inhale, you can take your arms out and up. And then your exhale, bring those palms together, hands to heart center. And I encourage you here to take a moment to honor yourself, your practice, and your body. And as you step off of your mat and into the rest of your day, may you cultivate peace and contentment. Namaste.